It's soup season, hence the short sleeves. So let's make some Zuppa Toscana. First things first, we do not want any slippage. That increases our chances of cutting ourselves, and we don't want that. Got our onion. Gonna go ahead and dice this. I'd like to say finely, or a small dice. I'm gonna say finely, because actually finely is even more than a small dice. Small dice is like 1/4 of an inch, and I would like it to be smaller. Now you wanna make sure you get enough of the onion off that it's not papery. If it's papery, it won't disintegrate in the soup, or anywhere really. So anyway, let's chop this up. Remember to do the claw. Okay, finishing up this onion. Let's find a bowl for this. Okay. Oh, let's get a board scraper. Okay, I'm gonna do this over the cutting board because I know myself, and if I tried to do this on the counter, half of it would get on the counter and not in the bowl. There we go, beautiful. I cut my onion first. This is partly because of laziness, because I don't want to wash the cutting board more times than I have to, and we are about to deal with some raw meat. Let's have some thick sliced bacon here. It's about 3/4 pound. I'm going to slice through the half lengthwise, and then I'm going to just cut through the length, through the width once, so that there's just about 2 thinner strips. Now 4 thinner strips. All right, this just makes it easier instead of corralling a bunch of different pieces of bacon. Okay, they're all separated, check. Now again, you're gonna kind of do a sawing motion and push through forward. You can cut these as big or as small as you would like. Whoops, that one doesn't want to be cut. Sorry, too late. All right, here we go. Let's get another bowl. I get a couple because I'm sick of making trips. That's like the story of my life, just making a bunch of trips. My husband's trying to get me to make less trips, more efficient trips. Eventually it'll work. All right, cool. So we have our bacon, we have our onions, we have our sausage over there, still finishing thawing. So I'm gonna throw this into a pot. Okay, we're gonna, ooh, that sizzle. Add that in there. This will do. And you want to break up the bacon. Now it's going to take a minute to get the bacon to get crispy. So I'm gonna leave that at about medium-high heat. I'm gonna stir it every minute or so that the pieces don't all stick together. And that way they'll get crispy, because if all the meat is stuck together, actually, as you can see here, then it won't get crispy. The liquid is not getting cooked off fast enough. So, fun little tidbit. Now we are scrubbing the potatoes with cold water. It's important to do this because there's a lot of dirt and sand that live in the crevices of the potato. And if we don't scrub it enough, that's gonna come out in the soup. Is it on me too?
Yes.
You might need a visor or something for this, because it's a little poppy, but come on over here and see. Now it's cooking in its fat, and that's what we want. That's actually not liquid, that's fat. So I am gonna just keep letting that be. Okay, so now the bacon is pretty crispy. It's not burnt, but it's crispy. I'm going to remove, actually first I'm going to turn the stove off, because the grease is gonna keep cooking the bacon. So I'll turn that off. I'm going to sift out all the bacon bits and place them in this bowl. And then I'm going to discard most of the bacon fat. Actually, I'm not gonna discard it. Who am I kidding? I'm actually gonna put it in that jar that I have. Waste not, want not. All right, putting that stove back on. And now I'm going to let the Italian sausage brown. This I will actually close the lid for because that does help the process. So now I'm going to slice the potatoes really thin. You can definitely do this. One's running away. Your fate is in my hands. You can do this with a mandolin, but definitely be sure to use the guard. If I'm being completely honest, there was a time where I didn't do that, and I actually had a really bad injury on my thumb. So always use the guard. Now I just honestly slice. Look at them, they're all trying to run away. One of the reasons I love this dish is, besides the fact that it's so delicious, is that the cleanup is actually pretty good on this. A lot of ingredients, but doesn't require too much cleanup because it's a one-pot dinner. Yum. All right, look at that, they fit. So now that the sausage is pretty much cooked, I'm gonna keep breaking it up. I'm gonna put some grease, about a tablespoon, in the pot. This is going to be our fat that we use for this soup. And along with this, I'm also gonna throw my onions in. This is where, oh, don't throw the bowl in, we don't want that. So while that's cooking, we are actually going to remove the leaf of the kale from its rib or stem. We're gonna break them into bite-sized pieces. Nobody wants this in their soup, all right? So make sure you break it down. You don't have to be too small, but just enough that when they take a bite of soup, it's just the right amount in each spoonful. And do remember that the kale will actually shrink once it is in the soup. So I don't cook it for too long. I'm gonna show you how to wash it when I'm done. This is just, again, I'm very efficient to do all this first and then to give it a good bath afterward. It's the most efficient and most effective way to do it. It's kind of therapeutic. All right, I'm gonna clear everything up. Where's my magic little helper like they have in the real cooking shows? Okay, I'm gonna grab my faucet and bring it over here. And what I'm doing is soaking the kale in cold water. I'm going to let it get to as high up as I can without spilling it over, although I probably will spill it over if you know me at all. And doing this helps the water really reach into all the crevices of kale. Kale is very sandy, kind of like a potato, because they're both grown in the ground. Okay, but I'm not gonna stop there. After one bath, I'm gonna rinse it real quick, and then add some salt. You can also add baking soda or vinegar, or all of it if you're really nervous about it. Oh, see, there it goes. And the salt helps kill bacteria and even insects, small insects. So, kind of dries them up. Oh, she's pretty. Okay, so now what you can see here, I don't know if you remember seeing the pot before, but there was a lot of meat and fat caked on there. What this is doing is deglazing the pot. basically you're cooking the meat at a lower temperature, and then the liquids from the meat and the onions simmers at a low enough temperature that it actually lifts the caked on product, whatever it is, from the pot. So I think it's fun. I'm actually gonna add the bacon. Now, normally I have homemade chicken stock, but I don't right now. So I'm actually gonna be using a better than bouillon. So I'm gonna add the liquid, and then I'm going to add the better than bouillon, and then stir it. It'll disintegrate, yet still it'll bring that flavor in. So now it's time for the trips. This is 4 cups. Let's see, 8 cups? Is it 8? Now this is important. Don't add too much. You can always add, but you can't remove. I mean, I guess you could try, but it would be unsuccessful. So far this is good. Next we are going to press some garlic. This helps peel it. Look at how easy this is. If only I knew this growing up, having to peel a whole jar of garlic for my mom. Okay, now the fun thing about this is the antioxidant, which is allicin. It's in garlic, and it's actually activated and at its peak 10 minutes. So you're basically, you can either leave it like that, or you can even press it and leave it. But basically you want to do this and let it sit for 10 minutes before putting it to the heat. Okay, this is hot enough. I'm going to slowly add the potatoes. Now you'll see that I did not peel them. And by the way, when the potatoes kind of get pink like that, it's just oxidizing. So they're so good, don't worry. If you want to avoid this, you can add cold water to the potatoes. I did not peel the potatoes because I want to maintain the nutrients of the potato. And most of the nutrients is actually in the skin. Now that I've added the potatoes, I'm going to try it once more. Ooh, that's good. Ooh, food dance. All right, I'm gonna add some garlic. Give it a stir. Now I'm going to let this simmer for about 10 minutes. What you're gonna notice is the starch from the potatoes is gonna slightly thicken the soup. Now remember, we did not slice the potatoes too thick, so in order to ensure the potatoes don't disintegrate, we can't overcook them. With that said, I'm gonna add some heavy cream now. Reason I'm adding it now, and by the way, it's about a cup of heavy whipping cream. Let's see what these potatoes are like. Take one out. Oh yeah, these are done. Basically, that's what you want to see. It's easy to cut through with a spoon, but it's still intact. Let's throw that back in there. This means, well, first we have to taste it. Let's taste it. Need some salt. Where is my salt? Found it. All right, let's do a pretty big, we'll do 2 pinches of salt. Potatoes are very bland. All right, we added that. And now we add the kale. So I have this on low heat. Oh, we're done with you. I didn't wait the full 2 minutes, as you can see. And we're just gonna place the kale and not boil it again. We want it to maintain, let's see, are all these pieces small enough? Yeah. We want it to maintain that rich green color. We eat with our eyes first. Can you pause it for a minute? Look at how beautiful this is. I love the contrasting colors. And with both different types of meat and all the flavors, it's quite a flavorful soup. Let's try it. Delish. For more recipes, tips, and tidbits in the kitchen, go ahead and follow me, subscribe, and share the recipes with someone you love.